It's that time. New season of Mad Racing League. We've got round one here, the Nordschleife 24-hour layout. Here we see the pace truck leading down the GT3 class through the kind of final S's of the 170 turn, 20 odd kilometer track. I qualified second, a little disappointed. I think I could have got first, but you can see how large that BMW is next to me. The BMW just looks cartoonish on the track. So here we have the map on the left, telemetry in the middle, and you're going to see us go side by side. I have to wait for P1 to go. And he dummied me. Oh, he did it absolutely perfect. We'll get another angle on it, but just left me in the dust. You can see me tap the brake because I guess he just let off on the gas a little bit. There's a small ridge there, and then he gunned it. Really smart from him. I learned a couple things on that start. So we went through the Grand Prix part of the circuit, uneventful, but here you can see the gap that he pulled strictly just from the start. A pretty tight bunch here, no mistakes yet from all of us in the GT3s. Again, you can see how big that BMW looks. It's just cartoonish. Switching now to an onboard. I think we're back around at 10th or 11th in a 911. Watch this. Oh, he got out of the throttle too much. The rear end came around. And then collects a few on his way across the circuit. He did everything he could, but the people behind, they were reckless. They were not considerate of yellow flags. Slow car on track was announced over the comms. And then here's the third guy for contact. Look, he's tucked right in. Under yellows, this is reckless. You just have to give space. Here we go. Here's the leader. Silva looking back at me in the Ferrari 488. I have this to show the uphill advantage of the slipstream. Maybe I'm a second back or so, able to tuck right in and just claw my way up. Normally I would stay in 5th there, but because of the slipstream I was able to go into 6th. So that gives you an idea of how big of a slipstream is available in GT3, how important it is to pass, but also how big of a hole that BMW creates. Here's my onboard going through carousel. I was much more aggressive on the throttle. I'm able to get my nose alongside him. But I thought better of it. It's just too risky. Tires are still cold. I thought, you know what? I showed him I mean business. Maybe that'll rattle him coming up to this kind of fast rhythm section. You can see I'm close, but not enough to really make a move. Here's the perspective from 3rd. Carousel, 6 of us, kind of breaking away from the other 10 or the other 4. Now we're going down. We've already gone down this uphill straight, but I wanted to throw this in. The meme car catching some inside curb and deciding to get off the throttle, which is a really common mistake and one you shouldn't do. That really upsets the car. Sometimes you just gotta stay in it to win it and keep your foot, pressed down hard on that throttle. This is again 3rd on me in front. It just shows how close you can be, and there's no passing opportunity. I would have to make a significant mistake in order for him to get alongside. Here's the drop. You can see how I'm a bit more aggressive through those fast speed, high speed turns. That's my style, that's my jam. Back up in the air, we're looking at, look how far back I was for this. I had a pretty good exit coming into the back stretch, chasing down first here. I tucked into that slipstream, gaining maybe 7 miles per hour. It's very significant. It's so significant. You have to be leading by over a second to prevent a draft pass. Also in the background, you'll see a fantastic pass by a 911 around the BMW. Gets just in front before the S's intensify. Really well done. Now we're into lap 2. I'm still in the lead. The 4 of us breaking away. This is down into the second gear right. Ehrenberg, I think it's called. This is after the jump. Not much going on. I mean, we're all... a lot of this is just survival. Who's going to make the big mistakes? The 4 of us clearly running away with it. And all of a sudden we're down the back stretch again. This is the completion of lap 2. You can see that I've got a pretty significant lead, maybe 2 seconds. Certainly outside of the slipstream, but second is under pressure again. That's the fault of the BMW driver. He must have a really terrible exit. He has the straight line advantage for the class, for the GT3 class. So, oh, they're going to go a late pass attempt heading into the S's. It's very difficult to go 2 by 2. Oh, shit. They're dead. They're dead. Oh, alright. Here we go. Here's the onboard of the pass attempt. I mean, I've been down this road before. This is very late. You can hear a throttle lift. By now, someone needs to yield because that inside right curve that he clips, that has killed more sim racers than any other turn on this track. And you can see how much it unsettles the car. Watch it here. The black car's right-hand side clips it. Boink. Any good intentions are ruined. Rolls across the track. Evasive maneuver by this guy. This is Campbell in 4th place. He sees the madness. Oh! Fantastic crash avoidance. Really well done. I end up getting another 3 seconds. So now I have a 5-second lead, 6-second lead going into lap 3. This is the last lap before pitting. Here's turn 1 entering the Nürburgring North Circuit here. You can see that gap. So, I mean, there's just 3 of us within about 10 seconds. And, you know, 20 odd minutes into the race, the herd is thinned out quite a bit. Okay, switching to an onboard here. Here's the S's where that wreck just happened. You can see my onboard. I'm going to show you pit entry. It's kind of weird. It's not there, which would be for the touring. You peel off here to the right, there's a crazy girder there that you have to avoid. I don't think there's enough protection there. My braking not good. You can see it there in the telemetry, but I didn't get a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I got the limiter on just in time. So, I mean, there's something to be happy about. I have all the pit crews turned off. It's just a huge polygonal demand. It's not worth it. So we all kind of stop invisible service. Going back to a 911 onboard, you know what that means. We've got a wreck. This car looks so terrible with the fixed ABS and traction control without adjustment. I don't know how those, I mean, clearly they can't do it. It's why I switched over to the 488 this season. Okay, here we are. This is now the final lap. You can see my 6 or 5 second lead is dwindled. This last lap, conditions are tricky because because the track is cooling. The engine is getting richer, cooler air, so you're kind of getting more power, but your tires, we didn't change tires. It's just took on more fuel, so the tires are now more worn. So it's very treacherous to drive around here right now. So treacherous that I'll show you a little onboard here, me going through my favorite turns. Now you can see my throttle input was at, say, 40%, but my RPMs were damn near redline. Just to give you an idea of how fast I was pushing. I was giving it everything. This would end up being my fastest lap ever around this circuit in a GT3 car. Here you can see me flashing my lights at a GT4. This is the only car that I would lap. The GT4 race, even more about survival. I saw very little in the highlights of side-by-side racing. It was just who didn't wreck would get the most points. Going to carousel, the final lap, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, it looks like about a 2-second advantage, well outside the slipstream for the back stretch. That's what my goal is, stay outside the slipstream. Here's an onboard of a 911. There's the drop. He thought he saved it, got back into the throttle, didn't realize he was tripping the traction control, and it just spun on him. Here we go, another 911. This is a little later, but farther down the grid. I think this is 12th place. An innocent over-rev into second gear. And again, spins it up. Traction control cannot save that. It's going to cause you problems. So going back to me again, last lap. This is my favorite sequence up here. I'm giving it everything. Ideally fourth through there, and then I would hold third through here. I don't know why I went into second. Just a bit of a mental blip, and I did it again here. I remember just talking to myself, what are you doing? What are you doing? I gave up about 0.3 of a second there. So now, second place, geez, he's maybe 1.2 seconds behind me. Back straight, moment of truth. If he was half a second closer, he's in my slipstream and he's making a pass attempt up through these S's. I barely kept my crap together for this one. Immaculate paint scheme and condition of my car for the end of this. Shout out to Dave. Bring it home. P1. Nordschleife of 45 minutes. Here you can see how it finished. He was only 1.5 seconds behind. And once again, I had no incidents. So that means I've gone over 50 laps in a GT3 car in consecutive races, the 24-hour and now this race, and qualifying without an incident. So I'm super proud of that. I don't know how much longer I can keep that going. But it was a great race, clean racing, very difficult track. Some guys decided not to race this one because they don't know it. I can see why, but at the same time, I mean, I'm happy I was here.